This month, we are unveiling our traveling exhibit, Apron Strings, Ties to the Past. With this exhibit, we'll learn about the evolution of the apron and its many uses. It's only fitting that in this museum moment, we highlight one of the central spheres where the apron could be found, the kitchen. Unlike today's kitchens, which are often part of the living and entertaining area in a house, in the early 1900s, the kitchen was still a private space, not meant to be seen except by family, household staff, or service people. Although we don't have photographs of the original McFaddin kitchen, we can gather what it may have looked like from the archives and from what currently remains on display. Early 1900s communications technology made life more convenient for the family. The annunciator box signaled staff from a designated room, while the interphone allowed two-way communication. The original kitchen stove in the McFaddin house burned wood. Noted for his culinary skills, longtime cook Louis Lemon preferred a wood stove. Years later, the family installed a stove that ran on both wood and gas to placate substitute cooks who didn't cook with wood. When the kitchen was remodeled later, that stove was replaced by the present 1955 Roper range. The original kitchen sink would probably have been in the same location as the current one. There's still a working cast iron sink on the back porch with exposed plumbing. We know that the original icebox, which was cooled with large blocks of ice, stood on what was then an open porch. Later, when the space was taken into the house for the butler's pantry, an ice door allowed the delivery man to put the ice in without coming into the house. The kitchen evolved over time. There was a 1907 addition of a two-room brick milk room and lock room along the outside of the kitchen, and the 1912 butler's pantry expansion created an indoor passage from the kitchen to the breakfast room. A major remodel occurred in the 1940s, with new cabinets and stainless steel countertops installed by Pete McChesney Incorporated of Beaumont. The 1950s also bore witness to another kitchen remodel that gave the kitchen the look it has today. Both Ida and Mamie took the job of managing and feeding a household very seriously. When we think of their role in food preparation, however, we don't necessarily picture them physically bustling about a kitchen wearing an apron and wielding a spoon. Ida occasionally stepped happily into that role. As a founder of the renowned and long-running chili supper at St. Mark's Episcopal Church, she spent many hours working in the kitchen there. Albertine Parker, who worked for the family as a seasonal or substitute maid and cook, recalled making candy and fruitcake with Ida. However, Mamie seemed to prefer the organizational and social aspects of dining. Although the kitchen may not have served as a public space in the early 1900s, it still played a large role in the McFaddin home. We invite you to visit our upcoming exhibit, Apron Strings, Ties to the Past, that chronicles changing attitudes toward gender norms associated with domestic work, and how this seemingly simple garment is connected to identity formation. Until next time, this has been another Museum Moment.